Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
And together we are KK Crochet. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach. And we've kind of shared a little bit the video from before, from last year. But it's outdated and we were acting all kinds of crazy silly. So we thought we would do a new one to update you on Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach 2024. First of all, what is Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach? If you're new, we'll give you a short spiel. If you know all this, you can fast forward a little bit to the end or the middle or whatever that has the current information. Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach is an outreach that we began in 2021. I had to think a minute. 2021, and it wasn't labeled as that at that time. It became a thing, last minute, last ditched effort. We decided there was going to be a Christmas parade with our fire department here in our town, and we decided 2 weeks before that we would start asking crocheters in the area to donate hats that we could throw out to children. That's where my heart is. I've been a teacher, substitute teacher, and a Head Start teacher for years. It started Head Start, then substitute teacher, and I've been in the education system for years. So, and before that, also in church, Sunday school teacher, and all that kind of stuff. So, all those kinds of things. My heart is with the children. So that's how it began. And then the next year we decided to put a label on it, because for years I've been trying to come up with something since 2016 in memory of my brother. For those who don't know, there's a whole story over on our Facebook group, and that's linked down below, about what happened to him. It was mental health related. We were not aware, and he's no longer with us. And so what we try to do now is to continue the ministry that he had in his life. He was a Baptist minister for many, 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 many years. So it's no respecter of persons when it comes to mental health and the things that you go through, right? So what we try to do, switching gears to something a little happier, is we try to make that a positive thing by reaching out to others and letting them know they're cared about, sharing kindness, and talking about the things that are hard to talk about sometimes. And so we let them know that we are a safe space for that we are here to support families who've been through those types of things. And we do that through many different ways, but we also, through the page, we put out information randomly, encouragement, trying to encourage others that we're here, that other people are here, that, life, a temporary situation doesn't require, a permanent fix. And so, or a permanent solution that you can't take back. So, I trip over my words sometimes when I talk about this. It's a little difficult. So, we have an outreach where we collect things to take to the nursing home, and we make Christmas bags for all the residents in our community that are in the nursing homes. And last year, I think it was 144. And last year it was blankets and toiletries, even little trial sizes and sample sizes, and coloring books and crayons and what else? Shawls and Christmas cards, just basic signed Christmas cards, and socks. So this year we're going to change that up a little bit. This video is not to talk about that, because there are people in the YouTube community who do contribute to that. We are going to change it up. I will just say that we're not doing blankets this year. Don't know what we're doing, but it's not going to be blankets. They've had blankets for 2 years, and it's too much. It's a lot of stuff to pack in our house, along with all the hats we do. So we're going to do something smaller. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. Hopefully just as impactful and something they can use, but something that will not stack up in my house, because when I say blankets, we collected throws, but we got other blankets as well. I had homemade blankets that were given. There were things like shawls that were donated there, but there were some huge blankets like that you buy in the store, like the big thick Sherpa blankets too. Mm-hmm. And I'm so thankful for that. And they were wonderful and amazing. But by the time we got everything together, 144 blankets, 144 coloring books, 144 packs of markers or crayons or coloring pencils, 144 toiletries, 144 pairs of socks, 144 gift bags, 144 plus Christmas cards. It was a lot. And so I'm changing the timing on how that is this year, hopefully, so that we don't have both of these happening at the same time, or the overlap is shorter. And changing what we give them, one, for variety for them, and two, to make it easier for everybody involved. So we'll see. I've had lots of things, like people talk about things that could be donated to nursing homes. But anyway, I said this wasn't about that, and it's not. This is about the Bumblebee Mountain Outreach Challenge. This is the Bumblebee Mountain Outreach Challenge 2024. What we do is we challenge everyone to donate at least one hat, scarf, fingerless gloves, mittens, whatever that has to do with staying warm in the winter, to Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach. And we try to get one submission from each state at least. Now, if we get 3 submissions from Florida and 5 from New York, that's fine. But we have a map that we use, and we place a bumblebee on each state as we get an item from each state. So if we get, let's say, Josie Smith. I made that name up. If your name's Josie Smith, sorry, I'm calling you out, right? Just kidding. So let's say Josie Smith from New York sends us a hat. So we would put a B on New York, right? 1 hat, 50 hats, a B. Let's say KK sends us a hat from West Virginia. Then West Virginia gets a B. Let's say Kristen sends us a hat from West Virginia. West Virginia gets another B. So now KK sends hats again from West Virginia. It doesn't get another B. It gets a B for each individual unique person that sends a donation, whether it's 1 hat, 50 hats, 100 hats. We've had that happen, 100 plus hats. Whatever happens, that's what we mark. And it's not just in the United States. We also do countries. So we go through and we mark that off so that we can try to cover the entire map. And this year we hope to do that. I think last year we were what? Was it 12 or 14 short?
Something like that.
Somewhere. I have to go back and actually look. I'm not real sure. So the first year we did this, we had 2 weeks. We had 75 individual pieces donated. The second year, 2022, was about 400 and something, close to 500. And then last year was well over 1,100. So what we do is we have a parade in a couple of our different communities here locally, and we bag these up and we take them and we throw them out during the parade. We also throw out loveys, like we've bought the little Dollar Tree stuffies and made loveys for some of them. Last year I had a whole bunch that I bought that we didn't get loveys made for them, but we still threw them out. Little elves. Kids loved them. I still have a few of those left to hand out this year. So we hand out the hats and we hand out loveys as well, or little tokens, just something for kids, right? We did have one place this year would not allow us to throw anything. We had to walk and hand it out. And I understand the reasoning behind it, but I can't do that for physical reasons. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that. There are places around us who will allow us to do the way we started, and that's the way we want to continue it, because that's the joy that we get from being able to go and be a part of it and seeing the faces of kids and people and spreading the word about what Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach is for. And it does bring people back. We have had so many connections from people who have sent us private messages that I will not share, but I will tell you that they have shared their struggles. And they have shared that Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach has made a difference in their life just by knowing that other people have walked in their shoes. Just by knowing that somebody cares. And it's not us. It's never us. It all is from God. It has nothing to do with us. This was what we have set forth to do as a ministry in our area. It is an outreach for people who need help. It is an outreach for people, not that we can give them the help that they need, but that we can be someone that they can see, that they can look to see that it's okay to need help. It's an encouragement to teach people to reach out for help. And so that's what we are doing each and every time that we throw out a hat, each and every time that we make a post on the page. We are encouraging people, because when we give out a hat, it has a little banner thing in there that says made with love. And so we're letting them know, because, people give you something, you're not, in this day and age, we don't expect that, right? So, full disclosure and full disclaimer for YouTube, we are not a doctor, we are not a counselor, we are not anybody that can tell you, what to do or can give that kind of advice. But we can point you to people who can. We can give you the number for the awareness line, the hotline that you can call to and that you can reach out to. And we can tell you that we know what it's like to be the people on the other end who are left from that. So we can give you the 988 number and let you call and talk to someone who can help you through a crisis. We can, help you through those types of things as far as pointing you towards where the help is, correct? I wish that we could do so much more than what we do. But our outreach is to tell people that there's a hope and that it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to tell somebody that you're not okay. Because had my brother told somebody he was not okay, I believe full force he would still be here today. We had no clue. So, and I tell the story in depth for those who need to hear it or want to hear it. But it's hard to do, and I don't do that on YouTube usually. I think I have a couple videos where I've shared some of it. I'll never be able to share all of it. It's very in-depth and heartbreaking. But for those who need help, there is help out there. There are people who care, and this video is so that you can help those who need that help. Give them a gift. Give them a gift to warm them, especially if they happen to be homeless or if they happen, and that we do give hats to other organizations that reach out and help those in the community who need help. There are organizations within our community that help those who are low income, or they help those who are down on their luck or who need some help. And we do give the hats to them as well and make large donations to those areas. We make donations to the schools in our area for community through schools? Community in schools. And they have a closet where they keep stuff for children in need. And all that child needs to do is come and say, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, I need XYZ. And it's given to them. There are no questions. You don't get questioned. The same with ours. You don't get questioned whether or not you need. You don't give an income statement or, anything like that. And the agencies that we give to, I'm not sure if they have that in place either. But I know that when we give them this, it's to give to other people in need. And so we hope that you'll join us in the Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach Challenge. Take the challenge, make a hat. Doesn't matter what yarn it is. Preferably acrylic, but if you send anything else, we would need a note attached to tell us so that we could tell somebody. But preferably acrylic because it's going out to people who we don't know their situation, right? We don't know if they have a washer and dryer. We don't know if they live in a home or if they live in someone else's home or if they're homeless. We never know. We never know who, like some of them we know, of course, in our community. But if you're going to something like that, you never know who's going to be out there getting a hat. So, the easier the better. We usually have more adults than children. I always end up with more children's hats usually than adults. So that's what I'm trying to say. So the need is always for more adult hats. Just because, yes, we have children in the schools. But if you've ever noticed, I made hats for a kindergarten class one time. And their hats weren't much smaller than mine. So you could almost get away with just making adult hats. And as long as they're not a slouchy adult hat, if they're a beanie, most children are going to be able to wear those in school age, kindergarten and up. And they might be a little slouchy on them, but they'll be able to get use out of them long term. That's just the way it works. I think most adult heads are, most kids in kindergarten, when I measured their heads, they were maybe an inch or two smaller than an adult. That's not much. It's not much. And if you make the front post, back post brim around the edge, or if it's a knitted hat, it's going to fit anyway, right? So that's what we recommend, an adult hat in acrylic. Any color, different colors, multiple colors, any pattern, doesn't matter. Yeah, and so, or a scarf. We've had scarves, fingerless gloves. Trying to think what else. Mittens. We've had a little bit of everything. And so we post on the page when that happens, when they're sent in, and we... on the page we post and say which state it comes from. In our Facebook group we post the name of the person it comes from. If you don't want your name released, please note that in what you send. If you don't want, we also put it on YouTube. If you don't want your name released for YouTube, please say, do not say my name, leave it anonymous, and we'll do that. That's fine. So when do we collect? Sorry. And I know this has been a long video, but it's all the information, right? We collect all year long for those who don't want it to, sit at their house and have it ready to go. We do push more starting in July or August because summer is over with the kids by August and we're going back to school, and our cutoff deadline is November 24th. That's my brother's birthday. That's the day that we cut off the deadline for the hats, or for all the donations for Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach. So those are the details. I hope it's not too bogged down, that you get the gist. I kind of went off the wall there with some things because, YouTube. I don't want anybody to think that this is us saying we can help anybody with counseling or anything like that, because we cannot. But we are here as a support system for parents or families who've been through the same thing that we've been through. We can talk and share just as friends, just like, to be a support system for you. I have nothing against that. I've always done that with family and friends who've been through similar things and lost loved ones. We have a couple in our community who we talk, all the time about our loved ones. And that's the one thing, is you should never be afraid to say their name and talk to them. It makes their family feel so much better, in my opinion. What do you think?
I feel the same way.
Yeah, so I do have several in our community who've reached out to me because they've experienced similar things. We know we're there for each other as a support system, just to talk. It's nothing as far as like a counseling session or anything like that. If you are in that situation and you feel like you are in a bad place, the number is 988. That's the number for you to call. That is for the suicide awareness line, and they will talk to you. It's the crisis lifeline. So that is the lifeline that has been put out for those who are in need, and we suggest and recommend that you use that if you are in a place that you feel that is something that's on your mind. And we pray that you will make a different decision. And so that's where we stand with Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach. We hope you understand. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, and if that's not, it's fine. It's fine. This is my thing. It's what I do. It's what brings me peace. It brings me joy, and it makes a good situation out of a bad situation, and it brings joy to others. And I hope you've stuck around long enough to hear that, because the rest of it can get kind of muddy and bogged down in your brain sometimes when life is life and you're thinking about these kind of things. And I know it's not the best, happiest thing to think about, but the way I try to think about it is the smiles and on the faces and the joy that we see when the hats are given out at parades. You would not believe it. It is an uplifting experience. Every year at Christmas, I kind of get, it's when my dad died. My brother's no longer here. It's me and my mom. She has dementia. It's just me and my family, basically. So at that time of year, those parades are what lift me. They bring me joy. Seeing those children's faces and adults and hearing the things that they say when you hand things out. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for us. It is a lot of work, but it's worth every penny and every second. So if you feel led to help and to join the challenge, please do so. And we'll be posting again. Our address is on our YouTube in the description box. I'll check and make sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. Facebook, there's a Facebook page for Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach that has the story that I can share with you, as much as I can share without it being too graphic and too much for me and other people too, and to protect our family. So that's the story that's there, and you can go and read it. It's pinned to the top of the page, and we just really appreciate the ability that you all give us to be able to reach out to others and show love and care, because that's what it's about. Like I said, we're not a counselor. We're here to share kindness, to tell you you're loved, to tell you you're valued, to tell you that tomorrow's another day, right? So don't forget to be kind, because
you don't know anybody else's journey.
And that's exactly where that slogan comes from that we say every time, because we didn't know his journey. So you need to be kind, because you don't know what anybody else is walking through. Bye.
Bye.